Hi everyone! So I think this might be one of my most either requested and helpful or useful videos that I've done in a long time, and it's how to buy good, keyword like asterisks, good skincare on a tighter budget. Now the reason I say a tighter budget is when it comes to skincare and our beauty products, everyone has a budget. Not everyone has a tight budget. Not everyone has an unlimited budget. So I wanted to talk about, how you can get really good skincare without paying a ton of money for it, and the keyword being good, because there's tons of skincare out there that is really inexpensive, and it's just going to do more harm than good, and it's really not going to be doing all that much for your skin, and it could almost be related to throwing your money away or something like that. So my rule is that if it doesn't do something, if it's not enjoyable, if it's not effective, I don't care how much it costs, it's not worth anything. You know what I mean? So I want to talk about what is great, what is fantastic, and more the concepts of everything. I'm not here to tell you, I hear all the time, okay, so just give me a list of products that I need. And it doesn't work that way. It's always about, when you look at a diet or exercise, it's not universal. You can say, okay, so you should only eat low carb, high protein foods, including, tofu. Well, what if you're allergic to soy? If you have, scoliosis, obviously you can't be doing all of these lumbar exercises because it doesn't work that way. So it's all about tailoring it to you. I want to give you the tools that you need, some tips and tricks, some products, of course, and a guide suited for you. So the key thing about this video is there's going to be a blog post that is going to really explain everything that you need to know, give you more in-depth product suggestions, discuss different skin types, different skin concerns. Unfortunately, in the United States, we're really limited with our drugstore offerings as far as high-quality skincare. If you go to buy a cleansing oil to remove your makeup at a drugstore, you're probably going to end up with something that's purely silicone-based or mineral oil-based, which there's nothing wrong with, but if you're paying anything that's more than, $2 for a mineral oil-based cleansing oil, you're wasting your money. So I want to talk about, what you can get in the United States that is fantastic, that is totally going to be worth the investment that you make, with quality ingredients and performance that is going to give you results with your skin. There's also going to be links below to things like how to double cleanse, why is skincare so expensive. I only have 2 nails painted, so don't mind that, but and just sort of more helpful videos below, that way you can really get an idea of what skincare is, what you can expect to see, that sort of thing. So when it comes to skincare, there's 2 things that I like to look at, and I actually like to look at them in order. Number 1 is skin type. Number 2 is skin concern. I always place the skin type at the forefront because that's going to tell you what textures and what products that you're going to need as far as finishes, formulations, etc. Because you can have any number of skin concerns, but if your skin is dry versus oily, the products that you're going to use are completely different. So look at your skin type first. Is it oily? Do you get greasy midday? Do you get a little bit of shine down the T-zone? Do you feel constantly dry? Or do you just feel totally normal and totally balanced and you don't feel one way or the other? That's something that you'll want to kind of find out for yourself. But keep in mind that if you have either really dry skin or really, really oily skin, it could be that the products that you're using right now are causing that, which is a little bit frustrating. So once you've established your skin type, move on to skin concern. So this could be anything from dehydration, and that could be anybody's skin type, where you kind of feel and look tight and shiny, even though your skin might feel dry, or you jump out of the shower and if you don't put something on, your skin just feels like yeah, that's dehydration. Loss of elasticity, so you don't have the bounce to your skin. You might have noticeable fine lines or wrinkles. You might notice that you have some lines around your eyes or around your mouth or around your lips. Or maybe you've got dark spots from sun damage or leftover from when you had a breakout. Little red or brown marks kind of left over on this skin. Or maybe you just have really sensitive skin, and that can apply to any number of those concerns. Once you establish your skin concerns, that'll tell you the ingredients that you'll want to look for. So skin type established establishes products overall. Skin Concern establishes ingredients. Now, I don't actually have time or space to fully explain every single skin type and Skin Concern in a video. It really has to be done in the blog post, so make sure that you're reading the blog post so you can really kind of go from there. Another thing to think about is how much commitment you're going to put forth towards your skincare routine. If you know that you have a really, really busy life and you just don't have time to spend more than 5 minutes on your skincare in the morning and the evening, then pick products that are going to be extremely effective, that are going to do more than one thing for you, but that are still going to give you the results that you need. If you know that you have a busy life, but you know that you can spend about 10 or 15 minutes in the morning and in the evening getting ready and then taking the day off, if you will, then by all means, you can maybe have a little bit more in-depth routine. Now, if you're just lazy, snap out of it. I'm as lazy as they come, but I know that I enjoy the 10 minutes that I have in the morning and in the evening because that's my me time. That's the time that I have to myself where I don't have to worry about anything else, and I like the ritualistic process of washing my face and reapplying products. Not everyone is like this, and if you're not that way, that's totally fine, but also be willing to put forth a little bit of effort and consistency to your routine. Otherwise, you're just not going to see anything. Same thing with diet and exercise. If you just stop working out, well, you're going to get out of shape. I should know. Got these breasts that So where should you spend your money and where should you save your money? Now, when you spend money, when you invest in a little bit more products, make sure that as a whole, it's products that are actually staying on the skin and that are designed to improve a skin concern. So remember, we talked about dehydration, loss of firmness, dark spots, breakouts, sensitivity, whatever the case may be. Treat your skin concern with a product that you invest in, and treat your skin type that's a little bit less expensive. That's the easiest way that I can think of that can sort of lead you down the path that you need to go. And what do I mean by that? So cleansers are only on your face for a few minutes at the most, and they go down the drain at the end of the day. While you can have some cleansers that are fantastic at treating your skin type, as far as balancing the oiliness or giving your skin more hydration, I wouldn't lose sleep over getting your cleanser absolutely perfect. Now, it's funny because cleanser is my favorite step of the entire routine, and I just have more cleansers than I have anything else because I love the process of removing my makeup and my sunscreen and cleaning my skin. But I also realize that cleansers can only do so much. So if you're on a tighter budget, don't lose sleep over your cleanser. Get something that's inexpensive, but also still really effective. I also want to talk to you about where you should be buying your products, where you can get the most bang for your buck. My best advice to you would be to actually go to something like Whole Foods, pharmacies or apothecaries or that sort of thing. And also Target tends to have a really good range of skincare brands that are actually really high quality and not super expensive. And the reason for that is Whole Foods tends to be full of skincare that, yes, it costs a little bit more at times, but the ingredients are far and beyond higher quality than what you can get when you go to a drugstore for like CVS or Rite Aid or something like that. And the reason for that is a lot of these brands are focused on using natural-based ingredients, and when it comes to things to remove your makeup, you'll obviously want to use an oil-based product because it's going to dissolve the oil and the grime and the dirt and the makeup, whereas a silicone, while it's still effective, or a mineral oil, while it's still effective, they're usually overcharging you for what it is. They also tend to be a little bit more advanced as far as textures and technologies are going, so they have, really high quality toners with vitamin C. They've got exfoliating treatments that have a good amount of lactic acid that'll kill bacteria, plump out any lines, and rehydrate the skin. That's just not something you can usually find when you go to the drugstore. You can also really find a fantastic selection of skincare products at Asian skincare stores, so both Japanese and Korean. Korean skincare tends to be really effective, but also lower in price because pretty much everybody does an intense skincare routine with multiple layers. They tend to be less expensive per layer, so that way people don't go broke, just doing the standard routine, which is anywhere from, 6 to 12 products. So, you can get a toner that's fantastic for less than $20, and that functions the way a really expensive toner can sometimes or sometimes not do. In the event that you do have to go to a department store or a Sephora or an Ulta to invest a little bit more money in your product, make sure you have an idea of what you want before going in. So do a little bit of research, find out what ingredients are going to work for your skin and your skin concern, and that way you kind of have an idea of what you need when you go in. My one thing about going to a counter is they're obviously going to be trying to sell you their brand, so if you aren't necessarily wanting to buy a certain brand, it can be easy to get sucked into different lines that will, you know, give you a product that you're not necessarily going to get the most benefit out of, because even really expensive skincare is sometimes just a waste of time. Also, keep in mind that sometimes products are really marked up when you go to a retail store, when you can get them a lot cheaper online. So drugstore.com, amazon.com, especially if you have a Prime membership, beauty.com, skin store, those sorts of things, because they're not having to pay for that shelving space. The price tends to be a little bit less expensive. So also look for sales. Whole Foods tends to run sales on their skincare a lot of the time, so if you know what you need and you know what you're looking for, buy it when it's on sale. Perfect. So that was a general concept of how I approach buying good skincare on a tighter budget, or you just, maybe you have unlimited money but you don't want to spend a lot of money on skincare. It's not my job to judge. I'm just here to help you if you feel that you don't or can't spend a lot of money on skincare, how to still get some effective products out of it. So the blog is really gonna be your key to finding more specific answers, more specific routines, because it's really hard to do it over video, and there's also more concerns and types in the world that I actually could fit into an hour-long video. So hopefully you found that effective. Definitely read the blog before you ask questions, because the blog could probably answer some questions that you already have. If it doesn't and the video doesn't, please leave them below and I'd be happy to answer. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this. I made this for everyone who's ever asked, or, you know, ask me for a routine or what products are great or whatever the case may be. Hopefully this is what you needed and what you were looking for. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you really soon. Bye.